Skype me later, okay? If you were online in the mid-2000s, those phrases probably feel like a time capsule. They're etched into my memory from countless late-night calls, grainy video chats, and that iconic sound of Skype ringing. Back then, Skype wasn't just an app. It was a revolution. It promised to shrink the world, connecting us across oceans for free when phone companies were still charging an arm and a leg for a 5-minute international call. Today, we're taking a trip through Skype's wild journey. From its scrappy start in a tiny Estonian office to its looming shutdown in May 2025. How did we get here? Why did this once unstoppable giant fade? And what did it mean to us in those early days? Buckle up. This is a story of innovation, ambition, and a little bit of heartbreak. Let's rewind to 2003. Picture a post-Soviet Estonia buzzing with a new kind of energy. The Iron Curtain's down, and a generation of coders is dreaming big. Enter Niklas Zenström from Sweden and Janus Friis from Denmark, two guys who'd already shaken up the internet with Kazaa, that peer-to-peer file-sharing app everyone used to grab MP3s until the lawsuits piled up. They teamed up with Estonian developers Ahti Heinla, Priit Kasasalu, and John Tallinn, working out of a drab research park once used for Soviet space projects. Their mission: build something better than the clunky VoIP tools of the day, something that could make voice calls over the internet feel as natural as picking up a phone. On August 29, 2003, Skype went live. The name's a mashup of Sky and peer-to-peer, shortened after they couldn't snag the full Skyper domain. Day 1, 10,000 downloads. Within months, 1 million users. Why? Because it was good. Unlike other services that lagged or dropped calls, Skype's peer-to-peer magic, borrowed from Kazaa, used your computer and mind, dodging pricey central servers. It was fast, clear, and best of all, free. You only paid if you called a landline, and even then, it was pennies compared to AT&T or BT. I remember my first Skype call in 2005. I was a broke college student, and my best friend had just moved to Australia. Long-distance calls were out of the question. $1 a minute was my entire ramen budget. Then someone said, "Try Skype." I downloaded it, plugged in a $10 headset, and there she was, her voice crackling through my dorm's sketchy Wi-Fi. It wasn't perfect, but it was free. That moment felt like the future had arrived. So how did Skype get here, from that scrappy launch to a cultural juggernaut? Timing was everything. The early 2000s were a sweet spot. Broadband was spreading, but smartphones and apps like WhatsApp or Zoom didn't exist yet. Skype filled a gap, connecting families, friends, and even businesses when email felt cold and phone bills were brutal. By 2005, it was growing like wildfire, adding features like video calls that turned it into a household name. Then came the big leagues. In September 2005, eBay swooped in and bought Skype for $2.6 billion. The idea was wild. eBay thought buyers and sellers could chat live during auctions. Spoiler, it didn't work. Most users weren't haggling over Beanie Babies via video. By 2007, eBay wrote down $1.4 billion of Skype's value, admitting they'd overpaid. But Skype kept growing. 380,000 new users a day by 2009, raking in $740 million in revenue. That year, eBay sold 65% of it to a group of investors, including Silver Lake, for $1.9 billion. Then, in May 2011, Microsoft entered the chat, literally. They bought Skype for a jaw-dropping $8.5 billion. At the time, it was their biggest acquisition ever. Why? Microsoft saw Skype as the key to dominating communication, integrating it with Windows, Xbox, and their enterprise tools. I remember the hype. Skype on every device, a seamless bridge between personal and work life. By 2013, they'd killed off Windows Live Messenger, folding its users into Skype. For a while, it worked. Skype hit 300 million users, and by 2010, it handled 25% of the world's international calls. But here's where the why gets tricky. Why did Skype peak and then slide? It's not one thing. It's a slow unraveling. First, the tech world shifted. Smartphones took over, and mobile-first apps like WhatsApp and FaceTime popped up, simpler and baked into your phone. Skype's desktop roots made it clunky on mobile. Early versions were buggy and it guzzled battery. Meanwhile, competitors focused on what users wanted: instant messaging, group chats, and no account hassles. Zoom, launched in 2011, nailed video conferencing with a clean interface and reliability Skype couldn't match. Microsoft didn't help. Under Steve Ballmer, they treated Skype like a trophy, not a living product. Integration with Windows was forced. Remember those pop-ups begging you to sign in? They pushed Skype for Business in 2015, but it was a rehash of Link, confusing users with overlapping features. Then, in 2016, Microsoft launched Teams, a slick, workplace-focused rival that quietly ate Skype's lunch. By 2020, when the pandemic sent everyone online, Zoom surged to 300 million daily users while Skype stagnated at 40 million. Microsoft's focus shifted. Teams became the star, and Skype felt like an afterthought. On February 28, 2025, the final bell tolled. Microsoft announced Skype's shutdown on May 5, 2025, urging users to switch to Teams. After 23 years, the app that once defined online connection was being retired. It's a gut punch. Skype was ours. But looking back, maybe it's not a shock. The world moved on and Skype didn't. Now, let's talk about those early days, because Skype's impact then was unreal. Before it, staying connected across borders was a luxury. My aunt in the UK mailed me letters because calling was too expensive. Skype changed that. Suddenly, I could see her face, hear her laugh, all for the cost of an internet bill. It wasn't just personal. Businesses used it to dodge conference call fees. Teachers held virtual classes, and long-distance couples stayed close. In 2009, Oprah Winfrey dedicated a whole show to Skype. Where the Skype are you? Beaming viewers into her studio from their living rooms. I dug into some stories online, and they hit home. One woman in Colorado met her husband on a study abroad trip in 2004. Skype kept them together across continents, leading to a proposal in 2009. Another guy in Michigan proposed over Skype in 2008. Long-distance love made possible by a pixelated screen. Even news stations jumped on it, interviewing people worldwide without satellite trucks. Skype wasn't just tech, it was a lifeline. Dr. Gianvito Lanzola, a strategy professor at the University of London, put it perfectly. Skype was never integrated into Microsoft's ecosystem in a way that kept it competitive. It was a pioneer, but it got shouted down by Teams and Zoom. Back in 2003, it was better, faster, cheaper, a rebel against telecom giants. It showed us the internet could rewrite the rules. So where are we now? As of March 23, 2025, Skype's got just over a month left. You can export your chats and contacts until January 2026, or log into Teams free with your Skype ID to keep them alive. Me? I'm torn. Teams is powerful. Calendars, file sharing, communities. But it's not Skype. It's built for work, not late-night catch-ups. I'll miss that simplicity, that bloop nostalgia. How did we get here? A brilliant idea caught lightning in a bottle, grew too big, and couldn't adapt when the storm hit. Why? Because innovation doesn't stop, and neither do we. Skype's early days taught us connection matters across miles, cultures, lives. Its end reminds us nothing lasts forever, not even revolutions. What's your Skype story? Did it bring someone closer or change how you saw the world? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear. For now, I'm signing off, but not without one last call. Hello, can you hear me?